for your ticket. Again, you can do that once per day, so make sure you make the most of it. We'd love to have you guys taking part. And again, it looks good for me. Of course, if you do go onto the MeUndies site via my link, you get 20% off your first purchase, and every purchase you make does contribute to the stream. We get a very generous cut of it, actually, which allows us to run more events and so on as well. Bottom right-hand side, our blue Terran player is aLive. He's up against PenguiN here, very early game, a very standard early game TvZ. Rip it across the map, dealing some initial damage. I'll just say as well, while we're selling out a little bit and doing some sponsorship sort of talks, the WardiTV Weekly is powered by you subscribers. If you're subscribed to the channel, you're one of the reasons that we have a WardiTV Weekly event. We take the sub money and we invest it into these events, these tournaments, to bring you guys weekly StarCraft 2 action from, well, a range of scenes. Sometimes we run it in Europe, sometimes in America, sometimes in Korea. We do get to, you know, run it in kind of a bunch of different places. It leads into a big season finals. There's lots of awesome content that comes out of it, and it's all because of you subscribers. If you subscribe, you get yourselves, you know, you put your sub money in, and we do take some of that sub money to run this event. So, as it is September, if you ever wanted to support esports, if you ever want to save the day and be literally an esports hero, subscribing is a great way to not only support the channel, but also to support the tournament series that is the WardiTV Weekly, which is this event here today. There we go. People using that MeUndies daily command now. We'll spam the chat a little bit. I'm actually going to talk to them about maybe being able to minimize the chat spam. It doesn't help that WardiBot has the MeUndies command kind of as well. But do keep on entering, guys. The chat may get a bit spammy. I'll try and fix that a little bit, at least. So keep those MeUndies dailies entries coming. Do appreciate it. It does have to be the correct capitalization as well, though. Anyways, Hellions in the mid base. Let's focus up on the game now. The 4 minutes in and action is starting to happen as PenguiN is taking some heavy damage early. 7 workers down and continuing to increase as we see these drones just don't know where to go. Queens are not killing things fast enough. 11 workers dying. Well, that's kind of crazy. 11 workers getting picked off, and now 2 Hellions of aLive gonna be, well, they actually wanted to try and go back in and maybe do some more damage, but don't feel as though the opportunity is there. And so 11 workers down. PenguiN will re-drone from here. It won't be the end of the world, but it is not a great start, especially as Raven's starting to come up, etc. Oh, even there's Reaper coming in, looking for some more damage. Doesn't find anything, but still a little bit of frustration. Could have got a couple of drones if he was a little bit more fortunate with where the Lings were at the time. Raven's on the way out, though, and that's the issue, right? As Ravens come out, more damage will be done. This Viking is going to be picking away at Overlords. As we're going to be seeing the Queen coming through, and we'll be able to protect that Overlord. So nice by PenguiN, minimizing some of the damage that aLive is trying to put onto him here in the early stages. Do MeUndies give firm support or let things hang loose? They have a range of different products, man. Like, you know, if this is a serious question, they honestly have a range of different products where you can really choose whichever style is what you want. Like, they actually have a whole bunch of different things, so, you know. Honestly, like, I'm not even, I really wish I was saying this. Well, I don't really wish I was saying this. I'm so happy that I'm not saying this just to try and sell them, but I'm saying this out of genuine kind of love for the product. They are awesome, and I got what I wanted. Like, I got to choose what sort of, you know, what sort of style I wanted, and they're like honestly, I've never been so excited over a parcel containing underwear in my life. But yeah, anyways. Let's continue to set up into this. It's actually going to be a big all-in here from PenguiN. He never started to redraw, and he's just going to go for the big kind of Roach Bane burst. It's going to be kind of powerful, you know. aLive's been built into a lot of harassment-based units with the Viking, the Raven. Well, all of these are units that are designed to harass and deal damage over time in the game. Not so much really kind of, you know, win the game right here and right now. To be able to kind of defend a big attack like this. A siege tank pops out as SCVs will give their lives to try and stop some Balins moving forward. The problem is these Roaches are already getting on top of the tank, but at the same time, we are seeing the Marines dealing quite a bit of damage too. There's just so many more Banens coming through though, and those Marines only have so far they can run to. They have to lift up into the medevacs, but these Banes will keep on being a nuisance. 24 more Lings in production to come and reinforce this right now. 22 workers have been lost. As we're going to be seeing those Balens continue to move around and looking to see where else they can go. Oh my god, the SCV's clumped up. 34 workers killed. It's already at this point, I feel, where aLive has taken so much damage that it's going to be very difficult to recover from this. These Banes are going to maybe get taken down now. Sure, reinforcing Lings coming over. 15 SCVs on the map. There is triple CC. It's definitely enough damage for PenguiN to be able to transition out of this if he needs to, though. As Lings are going to, well, he's just going to morph in Banes again. He's really sure he can kill himself now. Let's see what happens as we set up in towards this. Again, Bane's gathering up together. Zerglin's gathering up too. And so as Baneling's finish up, we're going to be seeing the Raven coming on around and looking to see what's going to happen, as we do see that Bane's going to come up the ramp. And well, Siege Tank initially does help. There's a lot of damage here, actually. I mean, the tank will go down, but that'll be about it. If even the tank goes down. Oh, no way. PenguiN GG's. I mean, you might think, why is he GG? Well, if you look at everything here, he has got no upgrades against 1-1. He never really droned, and so we'll make up for it later in the week. And so on, and so on. Alright then, guys. Game number 2. And to the bottom left-hand side, our blue Terran player, it is going to be aLive. Top right-hand side, our red Zerg player, it is PenguiN. Yeah, guys, I know it, right from the get-go, it's almost, it looks like, oh my god, why did he leave? But the reality is he has no upgrades. The Zerg player is very kind of behind because he committed into more units, which didn't do any more damage. If he'd maybe started droning up so much sooner, you can maybe look at that and be like, okay, well now he's got like a 30 worker lead, and so the upgrades are not as much of an issue. But he's only at a 10 to 15 worker lead, that doesn't matter. And even if it's a 30 worker lead, 1-1 Stid Marines and Medivacs are going to force units when they drop across the map, and they can continue to move around and do so much. What's up, Ligaman30? Says, casting some good games, you see. Nice to see a familiar face after months without Twitch-capable internet. Well, welcome back, man. Glad to see you back on the channel. Nice to have you with us today. Glad that you got some internet again. So setting up into this. And looking to see how things will continue through. And game number 2 on Acolyte. Obviously the Invase expansion makes it so that it's a very easy free base to take. And we might even see the Terran player just stay on the one gas here, rather than looking to be aggressive, just playing into a very fast free CC build order. So setting up here, factory will drop down. And still no second gas. Keeping our eyes out for it though. Let's see if it comes down. It isn't, and so that is going to be a third CC, as we were mentioned before. Sorry, I was trying to reposition my headset while also trying to talk. Was not easy, especially with one hand. Can't wait for WCS Montreal, says Shoes94. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Again, obviously, we're going to be here with that tomorrow, bringing you guys some community casting from 6 PM CEST. So we're going to be bringing you guys community casting of Group Stage 1, 2, and 3. And I'm super privileged to be able to bring you guys some of the round of 16 matches on Saturday. So it's going to be an awesome weekend of StarCraft 2 for us on the channel. Hopefully you guys are going to be joining us. It's going to be super, super, duper, duper awesome. Can't even explain it in words. It's going to be fun. Alright. So. Reaper comes in. Reaper coming over here, just looking to see what's going down, what's happening as we build up in these early stages. Get rolling. Reaper comes in, a couple of Lings and a Queen is going to be able to get rid of that Reaper, and it does get taken down. Grenade goes down, and those drones do get blasted around just a little bit. Stimpack on the way up. It's been extra barracks added on behind the third CC. Really, not too much of a surprise so far. And again, we mentioned, it is a very easy to take expansion map. And so the free command centers does not come as much of a surprise. PenguiN actually goes into a fairly fast lair right now. I feel as though that's quite fast considering the fact that he is on 3 hatches. It's almost as though he's going to go like 3 hatch muta or something, which is a build it doesn't really, probably not maybe with the Evo chamber coming down, but he could go into fast mutalist here just because of how quick the lair is without going into upgrades or anything else first. No Bane Nest, etc. Some aliens make it towards the main base here. They're going to go for drones rather than keeping themselves on the map to maybe deny creep, etc. Again, aLive obviously seems to be the player who likes to do this rather than trying to clean up creep with the Hellions instead. This time 5 workers, and he shouldn't get too many more. 7. That means less damage than he did last time, but at the same time he is on a better eco than he was in the last time as well. This time there's not going to be an aggressive response from PenguiN. He's not going to not drone, etc. He is just going to play the macro sort of style. Bane Nest comes down. Still waiting to see what comes off of the lair. And I am kind of looking towards a Spire here. Maybe, I mean, Carapace initially doesn't really give anything away. It could also be the Hydralisk Den and play that Lingbane Hydra. So it's a bit hard to tell right now. Scan comes down. Just from live, he sees the Bane Nest at least, which is some good info. There's the melee upgrade, so does look as though it's probably Lingbane Muta. You can play a melee upgraded kind of Lingbane Hydra style, but it's a little bit less common. I think a lot of players like playing the missile upgrade of the Lingbane Hydra rather than melee, and so on and so on. Sorry guys, I didn't actually add the September command yet, but just to quickly mention, as someone is trying to use it in the chat, September is half-price subs for if you're subscribing to a channel for the first time. You get this first subscription of the month for half price. Great opportunity to check it out if you haven't subbed before. I think even if you have subbed before but you haven't subbed for a while, it will still count as half price. So basically, if you're not already subscribed, you get it half price. Check it out. The streamer still gets as much as they usually get. They still get the same cut as normal. So check it out. Half price subscriptions. Get on that. Obviously on this channel you get yourself a bunch of replays with that as well. Worth checking out if you're a StarCraft fan, as we do see Marines and Medivacs coming up towards the top side. Sorry, I'm doing a lot of selling out today. The opportunities just keep it rising. I apologize. We do see these Marines going to come forward. And we are going to be seeing all of these creep tumors starting to be picked off. So creep tumors being picked away at. Some good damage being done right there. A little bit of damage being done. Bane's getting in and getting good damage being dealt there. Now some Medivacs going to unload, and obviously a bit of a lift up. I mean, initially here, aLive just looking to push back creep, just looking to be a little bit aggressive. He's got his 1-1 upgrades. Well, so will our Zerg play here shortly, and 2-2 will be coming up soon as well. Initially, though, the Mutalist will be invested into, and the Spire now finished. First Mutas will be coming on up onto the map. Still moving around again. More creep going down. The more creep that falls, the less control of the map that PenguiN has. The more he has to use his queens to reposition creep where it's already been, rather than to push it further into the map, which makes it difficult for the Terran player. And aLive in general will just continue dropping around in 2 different locations. It's a very common way for Terrans to play nowadays, until there is something to push those Medivacs back, which in this scenario is not going to take too long at all, because we see the first Mutalists are already coming up here. And he's coming on over, and we are going to see those Medivacs boosting on away. Can they get targeted? Oh, Widowmine will go off, and one Mutalist does get blown on up. Queens and Bins will roll in to the upper left, and we will see Marines taking a little bit more damage as well. This one vehicle plating coming in also here, and a 4 also on the way out for aLive. 2-2 upgrades starting up for PenguiN right now. Lings, Banes, and Queens gathering up together, and we're just going to be seeing again those Marines stimming forwards. And some of these creep tumors going to start taking some damage once again. Medivacs loading up once more, just backing away to the side. A few more Banes coming out. Widowmine doesn't go off on too much. Even the second one doesn't do too much then. They both get cleaned up as well. And again, more Zerglings coming on through, and still our Terran playing the upgrade lead. Did take a while for the 2-2 melee upgrades of the Zerg player to start, probably because he was again investing into those mutas. But with the mutas on the map, he is going to be able to push around a little bit, as we see. You know, he's going to be able to get rid of the Medivacs. He's going to be able to actually get some control back himself. It just takes away from the control of the Terran player, which I feel is so important to be able to do every now and then. As Lingbane still gathering up, mutas to the right-hand side, picking off a Marine on the watchtower as well. A couple of changes to the left-hand side, also getting sniped on down. So, I keep saying map control, but it really is a battle of map control so far. Creep being pushed back, changelings being killed, mutas being pushing Medivacs away. Always trying to get rid of, you know, just always both players just making sure that map control isn't here. ZBT is probably the most mechanically demanding matchup in the game, in the sense that always you have to be on top of where your opponent's units are. You have to be denying creep, well, pushing out creepers berserk. You have to be ready to take a lot of small skirmishy fights, not engage straight away. You have to fight in certain ways. The actual engagements are very micro demanding too. There's so many mechanics that go on into the game of just keeping up in TvZ. You've got to be able to rally push. You've got to be able to rally against a rally push. It really is such a beautiful matchup to watch as it develops, and even when there's not a lot happening, there is a lot happening in TvZ compared to other matchups like a TVP, for example. If there's no drops going on, there probably isn't too much else happening on the map. But in TvZ, if there's no drops going on, well, you're probably still seeing players trying to push creep, or at least push back creep, and so on and so on. And it just has that little bit of something that other matchups sometimes do lack in sort of the quieter kind of parts of the matchup, I suppose. Not that other matchups aren't difficult or anything, it's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying that TvZ really is the matchup that I think pushes players the most, and really you will see most of the time the more skilled player coming out as victorious. Those Marines apparently getting left behind there. Live sacrifices those while pulling back away to the left. I mean, those Marines, I'm not sure why. He just really didn't do anything with those. Maybe he was just too far committed before he realized the situation, and he just decided to cut his losses, and instead of trying to save them, just backed away. Because how was he going to try and save them? Take a fight he wasn't intending on taking? Well, that wouldn't be great. His other alternative is to try and send medevacs over, but he knows there's mutalisks around, so that wouldn't be too great either, as now we're going to be seeing 2 full medevacs going to get fought by the mutalisks. And that's 20 supply for aLive just down the drain. Doesn't really get anything out of it at all. Great catch here by PenguiN. And now with PenguiN actually moving across the map, going to go for a big counterattack here, as at the same time aLive is getting picked off. A lot of his units getting slowed down and stopping from doing anything. Couple of Widowmines at the front will start to go up to clean up the first few units here, as the Mutas and Banes will start to roll on through as well, though. I mean, they're already going to pick up a lot of these SCVs. Again, aLive has turned around to come and fight this. The idea is, if you turn around and come and fight this, you will clean it up. You will be able to protect your base and keep your production alive. Whereas if you stay on the other side of the map, slowly but surely the Zerg reinforcements just pick away at your units. In this case, because these Zerg units are now so committed, you will kill a lot of them. You will get value out of it, and it will then allow you to maybe counterattack, although not if you lose too much, and those were a good few baiting connections. 58, 59 workers killed already. PenguiN starting to run away with this one a little bit as a couple of these fours drop down. They chase the Mutas away. This counterattack is dealt with, but 60 workers going down. It's undeniable that aLive's economy is not looking the prettiest at the moment. Fours picking off a few more Zerglings here. Mutas, oh, do not want to take a Widowmine hit right now. No way! That was like 5 mutalisks. PenguiN, bit of a mistake there. Just maybe didn't realize how low his mutas were. Really, obviously, maybe didn't expect the connection to actually come down. But you could see it was going to happen. He took a little while to fly on in towards it. He was in range for a bit too long before target firing. And that was a little bit of a loss that was unnecessary. Still, though, maxed out. Almost a low supply Terran player. I mean, the army supplies are similar, but the player who's going to be able to rebuild and go again and again is PenguiN. Believe it or not, even with mules, 13 workers does not bring you very far into a game. And look at that income jump as the Terran player took so much damage there. To a 2.5 to 3k advantage in the game. I mean, that's an insane amount of income lead. And another counterattack across the map. Obviously, the depot is already taken down. There will be openings to go in, although there is also reinforcements left at home. Well, at the same time, now we're going to see a few Banes leading the charge, trying to set up the first few Widow Mines. Overseer actually takes a shot from the Widow Mines there as the Mutas come on through. SCVs will start to fall. But again, as we mentioned, reinforcements are kind of left over here to some extent to help deal with this. But it does mean it's less units over here to help push as well. There's aLive still getting good on army supply. 66 Ligers in production, man. I mean, it's just going to get better here for our Zerg player. Again, that's the issue. For the Terran, the Zerg will just keep on being able to produce and stay maxed out. Well, even if it's slowly and surely, the Terran player will get picked away at. I mean, unless the Terran player takes some amazing fights here where he really makes this a very much more one-sided affair than it ever should be, it's going to be messy, as you can see, with Widowmine not doing too much damage here either. The fours will drop back down, the Mutas are still getting pushed away. The army supplies are staying similar, but again, that's the issue, because eventually PenguiN will be the one to rebuild, and aLive really will not be. Still only 13 workers. He hasn't even rebuilt an SCVs at this point. 2-2 against 2-2 as these Lings come in and just surround those Marines. He just wants to take the fight, as he feels as though he can. The fall goes down. Again, not a lot of meters left in the sky to really keep chasing this down. PenguiN's actually dropping an army supply. He's not taking the best of fights here, and he does just need a few moments to just wait, morph in a few extra units, morph in those extra Banes, really be able to push this back once and for all, and be able to make this work. Lings coming up top, we see meters, a couple of them to the left-hand side as well. PenguiN Catching back up on army supply now. He had 13 drones. That's not what he needs. He's actually fully saturated on his bases. I don't know what he feels like he needs 13 drones for. And that might actually cost him a little bit. 13 drones instead of another 26 lings. In this sort of situation, it is sort of, you know, a bit of a difference that's being made there. Okay, I guess the drones are starting a long distance mine here, but again, is it essential to be on 80 workers right now? No, it really isn't. Anyways, here we go. There's meters in the sky to actually pick away at the medevacs this time. So many marines making life difficult. Plus 3 carapace will finish shortly, which will be an advantage to the Zergers. Again, that Mutacan's a bit scarier than it has been for a while. It's almost as though the Terran player is not used to the kind of mutas being scary once again. It feels as though you can just load up into the medevacs whenever. Just pick up a few meters there as he flew back over to the other side. But you can see that PenguiN is starting to win out on these fights. He's starting to figure this out. He's starting to make this work. Engage just once more. The medevacs taking more damage, getting pushed away. You can see Marines getting picked away at as well. They're continuing to go on down as medevacs will unload a few more Marines here. This is going to be game, I think, guys. It's taking a little while for PenguiN to be able to just stabilize with enough army to clean the Terran player up, but he is going to find it eventually. Another lone Widowmine middle of the map does some damage, but again, over time, PenguiN has enough, and it would be a disastrous fight for him to lose it from here. Medevacs being picked off as well as they just try to retreat on home. Another medevac of units will loading up aLive, trying to stay in this any way he can. And he is very committed to getting rid of that medevac, as they should be. I mean, no reason to let anything get away for free if you don't have to let it get away. Picks that off and now moves back up to the top side with those Mutalisks again. Looks to see what he can do with these. Actually going to be able to relocate them to maybe come in from a bit of a different angle once more. You know, still just gathering up together then. Creep's still pushing out as well, as we're going to be seeing a couple of ultras on the way out. Kindness Plate is coming down as well here. And again, some more ultras just continue to come on through. Mutas continue to head down to the south side. Marines will come up the left-hand side here to see what else they can get up to as well. I mean, they try and look for a base, but they don't find it. Obviously, they can push forwards from here, but they're going to be pushing on to creep. And so it will not be long for PenguiN to get a response team into position to clean up that medevac and the Marines inside. I mean, it's only a single medevac. It's not that much of a threat, apart from the surprise factor, where it could maybe stim in and pick off a queen, a bunch of drones right away. Even picking off a bunch of drones right now would not really be a game saver. Ultras on the way up, really kind of the nail in the coffin. PenguiN just making sure that he's, you know, really sealing all of the gaps in his play right now, making sure there's no possible way the Terran player can actually put an end to this with the position he's in. You know, no possible way he can come back. And ultras are exactly that, you know. If you do play the continued, you know, Ling Bane meter, there's a chance the Terran finds super efficient trades somehow. With the ultras, it's going to force a transition. A transition aLive does not have an economy for. A transition which aLive will eventually lose out on. As we're going to see, well, even this orbital command center going to get taken down by Mutalisks here. Widowmine claims aLive of some Zerglings, 10 of them to be exact. Still looking good, as we're going to be seeing PenguiN just repositioning and getting ready to go again. These drops, as we mentioned before, was not really much of a threat. Ultras able to deal with it quickly. Marines going to get brought back away, pulled away right away. 3 Widowmines on the way up. So Widowmines continue to come on through, plus 3 melee weapons is going to continue to come on up as well. It's the only thing really missing from PenguiN in terms of upgrades. Even his mutas, plus 2 flyer attacks, you don't realize that until you kind of see the CC going down so quickly. But it does add a lot of damage to those mutas. It makes them that much deadlier, that much faster in the game. And obviously that's, you know, it can be a pretty big deal as well. And just going to be seeing another couple of Marines getting cleaned out up top as that medevac continues to move on around. A few Marines will begin to unload again here to the top side. And this unit's Mutalisks is exactly going to be coming in and cleaning up. Medevacs and the Marines do drop. And again, another medevac just loads on up. A slow death for aLive. I feel as though right now, PenguiN is really not actually doing himself any favors by waiting. Beforehand, I could kind of understand that he knows about this drop, it seems, or was it just a bit of RNG that he's moved his mutas here at this point? I feel as though initially, like, the ultras coming out, waiting for those made sense, but now he's maxed out. What is he waiting for? He's literally just giving aLive more time to rebuild and to get more out of his army, or get more into his army even, to be able to then push and to be able to kind of actually maybe still take a trade somehow. You know, he should really be looking, I think, PenguiN to fight as soon as possible as he got those ultras up. And all across the map, he is going to take a fight now. We might as well start to work their way through the initial wave of ultras. Those ultras taking a lot of damage. 2 or 3 go down without much falling from the Terran side of things. The Mutas are kind of obsessed on the other side of the map of taking down a Plan B Fortress, which is nice. It's damage. But he still has to survive over here. Queens are now joining the fray to add some transfusers into play. The Infestors here, there is a fungal growth available. As the Mutas join in, it will be a cleanup, it will be a pushback, but it did get a little bit scarier here. Go, 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 keep using all of that. You know, again, it's obviously super free to enter. You can literally copy and paste someone saying !MeUndies daily to enter. And you get yourself entered into a competition. You can win some underwear, even if you don't think you'll like it. Like, it's potentially free underwear. Like, you may as well give it a shot, right? Check out their products as well. You can definitely give that a check out on via my link. If you do like the look of it, 20% off your first order, which obviously as well also helps out the stream. We get a decent, fairly sized chunk of the money that you get from any order. So do check that out if you would like. But definitely enter the giveaway. Like, I can't say it enough. The more people that enter the giveaway, it looks awesome for our side of things, because it looks as though people are interested and excited about the sponsorship. So the more people that enter, the better it is on our side. And obviously you guys get to win more stuff if more people enter as well. And don't forget to come back tomorrow and enter the day after, the day after. You can basically enter once per day. And again, it's a weekly giveaway. So the first giveaway will be ended on September 11th, I believe. Then there'll be a giveaway on September 18th, which you can enter for once per day up until that point. And it just adds up and up and up. The September summit with King of the Hill was awesome, says Victory Vegan. Thanks for helping make that happen. Hey, it wasn't me. I was happy to be there, honestly. It was Rifkin and Base Trade TV. Like, don't get it wrong. I was just helping to cast it. I didn't add in the prize pool or anything like that. That was all on Base Trade's end, so I didn't really much help to make it happen as much as I was just there to help be excited about the games with you guys. As we do have to top right hand side, the red Terran player, it is aLive. On left hand side, our blue Zerg player is PenguiN. And guys, if you do want to enter the !MeUndies giveaway, it has to be !MeUndies space daily. It has to have the daily afterwards, otherwise you don't enter. Yeah, this caused a bit more chaos than I thought. I will be taking some feedback to the guys who are running the !MeUndies bot as well, and just try and maybe make it a bit simpler to enter. But I feel as though just an !MeUndies could definitely be a bit better as a way to enter. Anyways, setup into this early game is not too crazy early on. There is an army on the way down, so we're looking towards maybe a little bit of mech play here overall, obviously with a Hellbat-based opening, but could lead into mech over time. Does Wardy have !MeUndies? I do have !MeUndies, and they're lovely. Been saying this a lot. They're awesome. Sup, Tom B? How you doing? Rip your sub. Hey, if your sub ran out recently, and if you resub, it will still keep your streak going. I think you have 2 weeks from your sub ending to resub to keep your streak, which is obviously pretty sweet, pretty awesome. Set up into this, guys. Obviously, we're building up into a Hellbat attack. The medevac is here to drop the first Hellions into the base, and they're going to morph into Hellbats, and then at the same time, more Hellbats will come in towards the third, and aLive going to try and win this off the back of some multi-pronged aggression, essentially. Some very powerful multi-pronged aggression as we set up into this, so again, this ready to go. We're seeing this medevac coming down in towards the main in just a few moments. Got the spores on the way up as well. Lair is on the way out, and that Balin nest coming down in the back of the mineral line. Again, a few more Zerglings coming up, another Queen coming up as well. Hellions moving into Hellbats. We are going to see the Queen taking quite a bit of damage. The Zerglings coming in as well. We are going to be seeing already 6 drones going down though. Meanwhile, a hot attack over on the third base is going to be starting to do some damage. 2 Hellbats do escape from the main. They can come back in and be a bit more annoying as Ling's rallying over here. Another Hellbat coming into play though. And that could be, again, a little bit more of a nuisance over the next few moments. 2 Marines, Hellbat, and the Reaper continue to fight against this. We're going to be seeing the Queens continue to work their way through that Hellbat. We're just going to be seeing the Queens continue to be picked away at. coming back in, and we're just going to be seeing the Queen here. Just maybe going to lose another one. There's a transfuse there, though. So that Queen shouldn't really go down there as the transfuse coming up. And a good defense by PenguiN. Loses a few drones, but keeps a lot alive and actually kills off a lot in the process as well. Some good play overall. 2 more Hellbats and 2 more Marines coming back into the left side, but again, there's enough units in position to keep this around and all the rest of it. Thank you very much, Tomzo B, for the 4 month resub. Says, cheers from the hospital. 1 month in now. Hope to come out soon. Cheer 100 will return soon too. Dude, hope you're okay, man. I didn't realize you're in hospital. Have you told me that before and I just didn't notice? If so, I'm so sorry. Hope you're alright, man. I hope it's getting better soon. I remember a while ago you told me that you had to fix your car, buy a new car. Now you're in hospital, dude. You're not having the best of 2017. Hope you're alright, mate. Let's see some love in the chat for Tomzo B and his 4 month resub. Thank you very much, dude. Do appreciate. What's up, JDennis187 as well in the chat. A new subscriber who came in last night as part of the September campaign we did with WardiTV. How you doing? Thanks for subscribing. Now I'm on my own channel, I can say thanks for subscribing whenever I want. It's always awkward when you're co-casting, actually, to to take a moment to thank subs or something, especially if you're on. It's really weird last night because I was like trying to thank subs from my channel on WardiTV's channel, and like it's really hard to fit it in properly and stuff. So a little bit of a weirder situation compared to usual. It was fun though. It was a lot of fun last night. As we continue to set up into this, orbital will just lift up and aLive will be plopping on down towards the 3rd base. This orbital command just to keep on setting himself up here on mech depot. It is just going to be bio. I said there is a possibility of mech perhaps, but aLive just wanted to play the bio player. 4th hat-trick coming on down from PenguiN as well. Just continue to set up into the Spire coming down for him too. 1-1 upgrades, the melee upgrades on the production tab also. A few more Banelings coming up. This Overseer just going to finish, and again a little bit of a push to the left-hand side. A few Hellbats with some Marines will just apply some light pressure here. Meanwhile, more units are coming out back at home. Going into tank-based play. Going into tank-based play. As the scan comes down, we are going to be seeing the creep tumors starting to be picked away at. So, creep tumors starting to get taken down, and Overlord going to get found as well. This is nice, actually. Gets all the active tumors. Hellbats in the front going to try and tank those Banelings. Marines load up to try and obviously minimize the damage they take. This is actually really nice. He only lost 1 or 2 Hellbats for all of that. And so much creep cleaned out and so much more as well. This is really awesome already. And I was going to see those units gathering up together towards the left-hand side once again. A few meters on the way up. PenguiN finally trying to get into that stage of the game he was in the last time around. The Ling Bane meter. Let's see let's see how this is going to go. Marine's gathering up over the left. And we've seen the Marine coming down the right-hand side too. These units gathering up and getting ready to push on into this location. Again, meters continue to come on in. 2-2 coming through for the Terran already. Upgrades will be even in a moment or so. A few more drones going down. So liberating the main base, which mutas are going to find themselves on top of to clean on up. Obviously, it does pull the mutas out of position though, and stops the mutas from being aggressive. So that liberator, a few drone kills, forces some reaction from the Zerg. It is nice. And it's going to be seeing the Hellbats and Marines. Sonic on forwards, here we go, the Bane's going to push in. The Bane's actually getting destroyed though, especially as they push off the creep, and that is the importance of having cleaned up the creep spread here a little bit earlier on. aLive can sit in what is a very aggressive position, tank siege in the 4th base and pushing towards the 3rd. He can sit here and it's going to be so difficult for PenguiN to engage without that creep spread. So that's going to be a little bit tough as we see the mutas obviously going to try and commit to get rid of the siege tank in a kind of annoying position. And now he's going to push forwards with Lings and Banes, but the Lings are gone. It's just the Banes left over, and they're not really going to find any connections at all here. PenguiN starting to fall apart as our Terran player aLive continues to just push on through. Some Lings are just arriving way too late. Everything seems to be just completely out of sync right now, I suppose. Another couple of Queens going to go down here. Another Overlord or 2 going to keep on dropping. And as this all goes down, the drones will keep on disappearing. And this is just going to be about it. PenguiN loses out on pretty much everything. 22 drones have fallen. Small Zerglings going down as well. This hatchery is about to drop. And this is really looking to be GG in the next few moments. Lings and Banes continue to come on through, continue to clean this up. And we're just going to be seeing the Marines, Marauders continue to try and do what they can. Trying to do what they can. The thing is, the 3rd hatch already going down is obviously enough. Reinforcements will back away momentarily together with more reinforcements to really make the next push from the Terran player super, super scary. And well, it looks as though our first semi-final of the day is going to go to the Terran player, which is going to lead us into a set of TVTs for the rest of the day. Our second semi-final is a TvT between Keen and Gumiho. And our grand final will obviously be a TvT if aLive is going to win this series right here. We're also going to be seeing Lings try and push on forwards. Banes are around. A few more Banes morphing in still. Banes continue to roll on through, and we're just going to be seeing so much damage being done. Again, a lot of the Banes getting picked away at, and there's just no way PenguiN can break this position. He's let go, too crazy for himself. This position over here really messed PenguiN up. It really just ruined his day, because he was forced to fight off Creven in a position he really didn't want to fight in. And as we're going to be seeing the Lings and Banes continue to push on through, Marines will continue to come on down, and this is really just about going to be it. 4th base falls, and now a 2-base Zerg is trying to hold off a 3-base Terran. It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up in favor of the Zerg. It adds up in favor of the Terran player. Push on forwards, GG, and aLive. This game